If it was only about the money, Rogers Communications Inc. would have sold off high-profile holdings such as baseball's Toronto Blue Jays years ago. Rogers is flush with approximately $5 billion of assets that financial types describe as non-core to the company's cell phone and cable businesses. Along with the Jays, worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.6 billion, that list includes a minority stake in Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, owner of Toronto's pro basketball, hockey and soccer franchises, that's worth around $1 billion, as well as real estate and a $1.5 billion stake in cable rival Cogeco Incorporated. There's a strong argument that the value of these non-core holdings is not reflected in Rogers' share price, which rises and falls on the fortunes of the telecom business. Story continues below advertisement. So, it was no surprise to hear Rogers CFO Tony Staffieri, a highly capable financial type, explain that the company was looking at ways to better surface the value of the Blue Jays at a UBS-sponsored investor conference on Tuesday. Rogers brass have been saying this sort of thing for years. The conversation got a little louder when Joe Natale arrived as CEO 8 months ago. Mr. Natale made his reputation at TELUS by focusing on the telecom business, and eschewing distracting investments in sports teams. The new CEO plans to ramp up investment in Rogers' wireless network in the next 2 years, an expansion plan that comes with a $2 billion plus price tag. But at Rogers, ownership of the Jays and the other non-core assets isn't just about cash. It's about harder to quantify branding strategies and even harder to pin down family dynamics. Company founder Ted Rogers bought the Jays 17 years ago as part of a plan to put a fan-friendly face on a widely hated cable company and to provide content for a TV sports network that was consistently finishing second in a two-horse race. Rogers subsequently paid up to gain exclusive Canadian broadcasting rights from the National Hockey League. Marketing types argue these investments paid off. Rogers burnished its brand and is now the market leader in sports broadcasting. In an interview 2 weeks ago, Mr. Natale said, "Leveraging our ownership of media and sports is an important part of the future and the strategy here. Selling the Jays means unscrambling an omelette. A large part of the baseball team's value is based on broadcast revenue. Rogers would never want the 162 Jays games played from April to October appearing on a rival network, so it's going to lock up broadcast rights prior to selling the franchise. Not doing so would diminish the sale price. And the moment the Jays are sold, Rogers would be forced to cough up a significant sum for local TV rights. The LA Dodgers charge their network $200 million, US, annually. This brings us to the family dynamic at Rogers, which is controlled by the late founder's wife and children. One possible approach to surfacing the value of the Jays is to sell the team but keep it in friendly hands. Deputy Chairman Edward Rogers gets put forward as a possible buyer. Story continues below advertisement.